So the 7-star MEWTWO TERA raid dropped earlier this morning. When I say this morning, it was actually 1 AM here in the UK, and I think the main consensus is the fact that you cannot solo it. That's right, you just can't solo it. But anyway, I've got you covered within this video. So if we have a look at MEWTWO in general, it's going to have its hidden ability Unnerve. The moveset is going to have access to his Side Strike, Aura Sphere, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, and it's going to have access to the move Rest. Aura Sphere means that you cannot be using, well, a dark Terra type Pokemon. The Chesto Berry works extremely well with the move Rest, but don't worry about that, because I'm going to talk about how we can combat that later. It's going to have a HP multiplier of times 50, which means it's going to have about 17,600 HP. This times 50 is higher than the times 35 multiplier we have seen on other 7-star Terra raid Pokemon. Now, I think that's all we need to talk about in terms of what we are going to be getting with Mew. Side Strike, Aura Sphere, Ice Beam, Calm Mind. There are two builds that we need to focus on, which is the attacking Mew and the support Mew. Now, the best way to tackle this Terra raid is to have 3 attacking Mews and 1 support Mews. There is no need for any other Pokemon to be taken into this Terra raid. Now, let's have a look at these builds. So this is the attacking Mew build. So we've gone for a bug Terra type, and the item we've gone for is Metronome, and that's really going to help us, and I'll explain that in a bit more detail. So the moves that we've gone for is Leech Life, Struggle Bug, Swords Dance, and Misty Terrain. In terms of EVs, we've gone for 252 EVs in attack, we've gone for 252 EVs in HP. The rest should be going into special defense. The ability is obviously Synchronize, Hyper Train. Across the bottom, we've gone for the Adamant Nature, which is going to give it a boost in its attack and obviously reduce its special attack, which is not going to be important whatsoever. Now, your main moves are going to be Struggle Bug and Leech Life. You're going to start off with Struggle Bug. Now, the Metronome item is going to obviously boost stack the power of Struggle Bug and Leech Life. Now, the reason why we have Swords Dance is because once MEWTWO resets our stats, then we are going to be using Swords Dance. Now, the other thing about Struggle Bug as well, if we just have a look at it, it lowers the special attack stat. Now, this is better than Snarl because of I think Snarl has like 5% less accuracy, but also the amazing thing about Struggle Bug is that it's going to help you charge up your Terra Orb. Swords Dance obviously increase your attack by 2 stages, and Misty Terrain. The reason why Misty Terrain is so important, and instead of Misty Terrain you can actually have Electric Terrain as well, is because MEWTWO will not be able to use the move Rest, because Rest will put it in a sleep condition, and obviously because of Misty Terrain, Pokemon are protected from serious conditions. Again, you can have Electric Terrain as well. I've just put Misty Terrain, so either or, but this is the moveset and the build that we want to be going for when we are an attacking Mew. Now remember, there needs to be 3 of these Mews, okay, 3 of these Mews. Right, let's have a look at the support Mew. Now, the support Mew, it can be any Terra type. If I'm being perfectly honest, it doesn't matter. Now, we have Light Clay as the held item. It's important why we have the Light Clay, but let's have a look. In terms of movesets, we've gone for Light Screen, Life Dew, Struggle Bug, and Electric Terrain. So Light Screen is going to be lengthened by the item Light Clay for up to 8 turns. Okay, Life Dew is going to be healing. Struggle Bug, we're not really going to be attacking much with it, but this is going to help us in the early stages. And then I put Electric Terrain on it just to show that Electric Terrain and Misty Terrain can work. We've gone for 252 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in attack. I've gone for Adamant Nature, boosting its attack, and obviously the ability Synchronize. And in terms of IVs, obviously Hyper Train, 31 best IVs all across the board. Now that we have looked at the 2 builds, let's have a look at the actual strategy itself. Now, once you have got the attacking Mew builds and the support Mew build, I'll be completely honest, you can only do this with 4 competent players. And if you haven't got friends who you can join with, go into some online chats on a Facebook group or a Reddit group, or maybe on a Discord server, and find some players that you can do this with, because honestly, you need so much strategy for this. If there are not 4 competent players on this raid, you are going to fail. Now let's get straight into it. So in terms of strategy, turns 1 to 3, all attacking Mews use Struggle Bug to get MEWTWO down to -6. In terms of the support Mew, he will set up a Light Screen, will do a Defense Cheer, and potentially a Struggle Bug or Life Dew. This is on turns 1 to 3. Now, after turn 3, you will terrestrialize the attacking Mews, and from turns 4 to 6, the attacking Mews will use Swords Dance for +6 on attack. Now, in turns 4 to 6, the support Mew will be using moves like Life Dew, maybe a Cheer as well, to ensure that the team's health is persistently replenished. Now, from turn 7 onwards, you are going to be spamming Leech Life, and this is going to be the main body of the strategy that you're going to be using. Now, this is important. If Mewtwo resets his stats, then all attacking Mews, all 3 attacking Mews, must stop and use Struggle Bug for 2 turns, okay, to get him back down to -6. Now, if Mewtwo resets your stats, then all 3 Mews must stop for 3 turns and use Swords Dance. At this stage, the support Mew is going to be using Life Dew and maybe even a Light Screen, because it's going to be potentially 8 turns up, or maybe even a Cheer. Now, the most important aspect is just before the shield goes down, one of the Mews, this is why I put Misty Terrain and Electric Terrain on the attack and the support Mews, you must use a Misty Terrain or Electric Terrain. This is extremely important because Mewtwo then cannot use the move Rest, because he has a Chesto Berry. If Mewtwo uses the move Rest, it's all over, and then the Chesto Berry is going to wake him up. If you activate Misty Terrain just before the shield goes down, preferably the support Mew, as it has got Light Clay, then it will stop Mewtwo from using the move Rest, and then you are good to just continue spamming Leech Life until you have defeated Mewtwo, and this is probably the most important aspect, because if Mewtwo gets off that Rest, you might as well just quit. But anyway, this is the strategy, and I must stress that you need to go into this strategy for competent players who know what they're doing, potentially 4 of you who can probably communicate with one another on a call, so then you know what needs to be done and you can react correctly, because honestly, this is one of the hardest bosses in any game that you will come across. Now, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. I think that's everything that I need to cover. Please do like the video and comment how you get on in this Terra raid.